wait. The bar's got that swing. Glasses clink, hear the ice cubes sing. Liquid lunch, pour it smooth, let it flow. Friends round the table where the good times grow. Raise a glass, let the worries slip away. Liquid lunch, we're living for today. There's Troy laughing with his gin and a grin, telling stories about where he's been. Boomer's got whiskey, he's loosening his tie, chasing dreams under a midday sky. The bartender knows us, he's mixing with flair. Every sip's a moment we're happy to share. Liquid lunch, pour it smooth, let it flow. Friends round the table where the good times grow. Raise a glass, let the worries slip away. Liquid lunch, we're living for today. The clock don't matter, we're lost in the vibe. Jazz in the air, feel the soul come alive. From martinis to bourbon, we're riding the wave. Stealing this hour, it's the freedom we crave. Sun's still shining, but we're in our zone. This bar's our shelter, our temporary home. One more round before the world calls us back. Savor the moment, keep the blues in the rack. We'll laugh and we'll toast till the afternoon fades. Memories made in these liquid escapades. Liquid lunch, pour it smooth, let it flow. Friends round the table where the good times grow. Raise a glass, let the worries slip away. Liquid lunch, we're living for today. So here's to the daylight, the drinks and the fun. Our liquid lunch, till the next one comes. With a wink and a smile, we'll be back real soon. Chasing that jazz under the high noon.
Salut and welcome. Welcome to, we are midway through it. Liquid lunch is the mid part of the day, and Wednesday is the mid part of the work week. So we're halfway through it. Everything from here on is coming out of the week, heading towards the weekend. And Wednesday is my day to kind of decompress, rant a little bit. You know, all the things that kind of just make me facepalm, grab the bridge of my nose. WTF, right? We'll get into that as we get through our liquid lunch. But let's start by saying hi to everybody that could join us today, starting with Big Al at Big Al Presents, who says, just back from the dentist. What a coincidence, my friend. Netter and I are going to be going to the dentist this afternoon. Both of us to get work done, which is not fun. And yeah, let's hope that the Novocaine wears off for me before this evening, about 7 Central, because Overlord DVD has called me back to Xanadoom. I will be joining him tonight on Pop Culture Breakdown. So I want to be able to not be talking like this. You know what I mean? Netter's calling me the love of her life. She just wants me to hold her hand when we go to the dentist. And she says, like, share, subscribe, become a member, leave a comment, and a gifty would be greatly, greatly appreciated. Matanui. Hail, my friend. Good to see you. Good to see you. As well as ussarn. Good to see you as well. Jonathan Conroy says, hail all, smash the like button and enjoy the show. Yes, please enjoy the show. What the actual F Wednesday? Thank you so much for being here. Joe's Atmosphere, yes. We'll get to what the actual F. I've got one to share with you all for sure. No doubt about it. What a coincidence. Just had a cleaning, thankfully. Good luck to you guys. Yeah, we had a cleaning, it was about 2 months ago, and this was the first opportunity he could get me in to address the issues that he saw that needed to be taken care of. Welcome, Nate. Geek Flag with Nate knows. Pretty soon Troy's going to forget all about us, the little people. No, see, here's the thing. That can't possibly happen because you really are the reason that I do this. If it weren't for you guys, I wouldn't be bothering to do this. So never going to forget you because you are... That would be like a house forgetting the cornerstone and the foundation that it's built on, you know. So that's never going to happen. Curtis Selby, lunchtime, folks. Yes, grab yourself a drink. And looks like we are caught up. Well, Netter's getting caught up with her Hi Sweeties, but other than that, I think I am caught up on the chat. So let's see what the actual F I'm going to start by ranting about today. Feel free to shout out anything you think I might raise an eyebrow to, but for starters, let's deal with this jamoke. Getting kind of sick of this guy. He's kind of going on the list with the Meathead and Stephen King and Mark Ruffalo and, you know, some of the other ones that just their whole identity is built around TDS, and it's really sad. I'm just messing with you, brother. You're too much of a man of integrity to do that. Yeah, I'd like to think so. I'd like to think that, you know, and let's face it, I think there's a commonality that I've seen in the Hollywood muckety mucks, right? You know, you identify some people that are really grounded, right? That are really good with their audiences, that don't say a lot of stupid crap to piss people off. They tend to be the people that are kind of self-made, that didn't come from money, that didn't come from Hollywood royalty, you know, the real salt of the earth people before they got started. And when the success starts coming to them, it's earned, and they don't forget the lessons that they grew up with. Where I think a lot of these other dingbats start out spoiled or are so far removed from where they came from, they've spent more time in an ivory tower than they did, you know, in the real world. I think is what it really is. Mark Melnikoff says, Mech pro! It's WTF Wednesday. I will have a long list for sure by day's end. I have no doubt. Of course, we got Booger caught up in only 6 minutes. I can fix that. There you go. Like a 6-minute daily, right? That goes on for 12-15 minutes. Just poking a little bit. Let's see. Rick 920. May the thread not be with you. Okay, yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I'll get to that in just a second. Let me finish saying hi to everybody. Yeah, I'm getting fitted for my brown shirt now. Trump is commissioning me to arrest and deport Mark Hamill. Yeah. Like anyone has been forced to leave the country, right? It's all been voluntary. It's all been people with a lot of money that have places overseas that they vacation anyway, and they go, well, I'm going to make a big virtue statement. I'm going to move out of the country. And I have seen that some people have had a little bit of a difficult time in other countries, not realizing you don't necessarily have all the rights you do in other countries that you do in the United States. Culture shock is a real thing. Brown isn't my color, but I will gladly back you up there, Curtis. There you go. The Horror King, welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's see. Did I miss Connie? You must. Oh, there you are. Hail the chat. Hi, Connie Cleary. Good to see you as well. Sorry, I'm kind of all over the place here in the chat. There we go. So let's go ahead and get into this. So Mark Hamill refused to let the evil orange man force him out of America, yet Trump has never mentioned him. That's kind of funny. The most amusing Mark Hamill moment since he lost his pants on stage at an awards show. The Star Wars actor has revealed he didn't follow through on his promise to flee the United States because of a mental moment of spite against President Trump that took place entirely within his own head. I like that. Hollywood veteran Mark Hamill has never been shy about politics, especially when it comes to Donald Trump. The Star Wars actor has long been one of the most outspoken critics of the 47th president regarding mocking him on social media and even reading Trump's tweets in Joker voice. But in a new interview with the Times of London, Hamill revealed that Trump's 2024 election rattled him to the point of imaginary battles with the president in his own head. Hamill admits that he seriously considered leaving the United States altogether, narrowing down his options to either London or Ireland. The plan even reached the point where he gave his wife, Marilu York, the final say on where they would go. I said to my wife, okay, it's either London or Ireland you pick, Mark recalled. And then a week later he said, I'm surprised you would allow him to force you out of your own country. That response, Hamill explained, flipped the script. Instead of packing up and relocating, he says his wife's words triggered a defiant inner monologue. My inner voice said, that son of a bee. Hamill admitted, I'm not leaving. It should be noted that we found no record of Trump ever attempting to force Mark Hamill out of the country or even mentioning him by name in any way. Hamill didn't just stop at describing the relocation debate. He went further, explaining how he coped with Trump's presidency by reframing the political chaos as if it were a sprawling work of fiction. The only way I can deal with it without going crazy, too late, dude. Too late, dude. And wanting to open my veins in a warm tub is to look at it like if you're that messed up in the head over an election, over a presidency, you need to do a serious reality check. Sprawling. Think of it is to look at it as a thick, sprawling political novel, Mark said. The novel, he explained, is full of bizarre subplots that sound outlandish, yet in his eyes capture the surreal nature of modern politics. Making Canada a 51st state, do you know how offensive that is? It's offensive that you would express an opinion on it. Maybe leave it up to the Canadian people that are looking to separate from Canada, right? The Westerners who are going, we have more in common with the United States than we do with the rest of Canada. You know, who the hell are you, Mark Hamill, to think you know better than the people of Canada? And then taking over Greenland and renaming the Gulf of Mexico. Greenland, again, the people there have their own choices to make. If they want to declare independence, they have a right to declare independence. Look, I know you're a globalist moron who wants everyone to bow down to their elites, but that's not what this country is about. We were founded on rebellion, independence, and we like to support that in other nations. And if in helping them achieve their independence, the way countries like France and Spain did for us, maybe, we might be open to, if they want to join us, they absolutely can. The distractions are hilarious. Yeah. What's interesting is let's kind of, if you'd like, let's measure out, the square miles of that gulf there. How much of it touches the United States and how much of it touches Mexico? Just saying. I mean, how is it more Mexico than it is the United States? Just saying. Anyway, Hollywood criticism of Trump is nothing new. The usual part here isn't that Mark Hamill complained, it's how he explained his decision. By his own telling, he seriously considered packing up for London or Ireland, only to stay put because he didn't want Trump to force him out. That's not a policy debate or a career calculation, it's spite. Hamill, and it's spite based on a delusion. No one was forcing him to do anything. No one is forcing him to do anything. It's all in his mind. He even to some degree seems to be aware of that fact. It's just how he reframes it. It's how he makes his choice based on spite, just like the article says. By his own telling, read that. That's not a policy debate or a career calculation, it's spite. Hamill admitted his inner response after talking to his wife, that son of a bee, I'm not leaving. So instead of measured decision, Hamill framed it almost like a standoff of pride. Luke Skywalker didn't outduel Darth Vader this time. He just chose to dig in his heels and deny Trump the satisfaction. Trump, meanwhile, has never called for the removal of Mark Hamill from the United States, and we found no record of him ever mentioning Hamill by name in the past. Honestly, Trump doesn't give a flying fig about Mark Hamill. I don't think Mark Hamill is even on his radar. Hamill's comments underline how deep the political divide runs in Hollywood. For supporters of Trump, the actor's story won't come across as courageous. It will sound like another example of celebrity making politics personal to the point of melodrama. Even his fans may raise eyebrows at the idea that his decision to stay in America boiled down to spite. Does he really still have any fans left? Any real fans? Besides the sycophantic people that just see him as Luke Skywalker and can't separate reality from delusion. The larger point is that Hamill didn't cite policy disagreements, professional obligations, or family ties as a reason he remained. Instead, he admitted his motivation was not to give Trump, again, a person who has never directly mentioned Mark Hamill by name, the satisfaction of forcing him out. That's less about principle and more about personal pride. In the end, Hamill stayed put, not because of love of country, but because of a grudge. And that says just as much about Hollywood relationship with Trump as it does about Hamill himself. Personal speculation here is that I happen to think that those celebrities who have left the country, claiming that they were doing so over Trump, had something to really be afraid of. Something not said in the mainstream media, but maybe something that they were afraid that an investigation might uncover, that they are concerned about. A lot of people trying to keep certain files secret, and if they ever came out, maybe these people would be better off being outside the United States than being able to face prosecution inside the United States. And I'm guessing that Mark Hamill is not high enough placed in the Hollywood echelon to have ever been found within those files. This is pure speculation and based on absolutely nothing. Just spitballing here. Maybe that is the problem. If I'm not on Trump's radar, I must not be important. Well, that would be that's exactly what I was just saying about Mark Hamill here, right? Mark Hamill's comments show just how deep the mental illness runs in Hollywood. Absolutely. And I think a big part of that is I think I'm noticing, and I think a lot of people are noticing a huge uptick in mental illness, and it doesn't take a clinical psychiatrist to know that it's directly related to social media. It's an undue influence that the clickbait has on people. You know, the dopamine cycle of clickety click click click, and ranting in echo chambers and fear mongering has really gotten to very susceptible people. And by susceptible, I mean weak-minded, to use a Jedi term, you know. In Indonesia, the Indian Ocean is called the Indonesian Ocean. Gulf of America is a legit name for the place. It's, after all, in between North and South America. That's a great point. We didn't call it the Gulf of the USA. We called it the Gulf of America. That means both North and South America, right? I hadn't considered that before, ussarn. Good point. Canada or their provinces can come in as territories, but America's had to work hard at statehood. Plus, there should be some sort of probation, unless they're... Yeah, so, Booger, I've really looked into the whole statehood issue, and it is not an easy process to become a state. It requires ratification by the existing states before any other state can join. And you're going to see a lot of, headbutting between the two main parties because the concern, of course, is going to be, well, how many electoral votes would each province get if they became a state? And which way would they go? Would they vote conservative or liberal? That would be a concern. Keep in mind, even the most conservative, as the United States defines it, conservative province in Canada is still pretty left from what we consider conservative. So there's no certainty how voting trends would work there. But I do kind of feel like any province that has that kind of independent spirit and be willing to assert their own independence from Canada would more closely align with a conservative United States perspective. But you're absolutely right. This is the other thing I think a lot of people forget about the current president. He says a lot of stuff to rile people up, and they fall for it hook, line, and sinker. He plays them like marionettes. He says things that he has absolutely no intention of following through on. And, all the news outlets come out and say, legally he can't do that. That's anti-constitutional. He knows that. You know that. Why are you reacting like that? Maybe wait and see if he actually does it. Then bring a constitutional challenge to him. Until then, he's just playing you, But anyway, there's more here. He says, can come in as territories, but America had to work at city. Plus, there should be some sort of probation test. They try to bring socialized medicine with them. Yeah, see, that's the other thing, that wouldn't happen. It just can't happen. A state couldn't become a state and expect a federal, policy change. So that's true. They would have to give up their socialized medicine. And there's nothing that even says that they actually would decide to become states. I was being more hypothetical, Luke Nobrain is out here, saying how offensive it is to suggest that Canada become the 51st state. And it's like, no, what's offensive is us making assumptions about what Canadians might want to do. Let them achieve their independence first, and then let them decide, do they want to maintain their independence as a new country, whether it's Alberta or whatever. Do they want to begin a process towards statehood? Or do they just want to be a separate country that has a friendly trade agreement with the United States? Honestly, that latter one is probably the one that would be best for us, to be able to trade for their oil and their rare earths. They're nearby, without the restrictions of their eastern counterparts, and we would be able to help them tap their resources that they just aren't in their northern territories. It would be a win-win all around economically for both of us. What's Mark saying here? Mark says, but we have extradition treaties with some of those countries. The law has a long arm. Yeah, but keep in mind that an extradition treaty isn't a guarantee that they will comply. It means they are amenable to sending someone back, but they won't necessarily. I can cite you a whole bunch of instances where people have been detained indefinitely, and the U.S. has requested extradition, and they've said, no. Socialized medicine has some benefits. In the U.S., it is insane that people who do not work have free, to them, medical care, but working citizens can't afford medical care. Well, you're talking about two different problems there, ussarn, and you're trying to solve one with the other. Socialized medicine is not the solution to the actual problem of why people can't afford medical care. The real reason is one that is beginning to be addressed by this administration, in looking at the way drugs are charged, the way that, really, the pharmaceutical companies are out of their minds. And also when you look at the fact that for the same medication, they're charging your insurance company up to 10 times what they charge other countries that subsidize their medicine, right? It's cheaper for other countries than it is here. And that's why the administration signed an executive order. Yeah, no, you can't do that anymore. If that's what you're charging over there, that's what you're going to charge here. We get the best price. And if you want to inflate your prices, you can inflate them to other countries. And that's just one example of why healthcare is so high here. It doesn't just apply to medicines either. It applies to the machines and the tech and all this stuff. You watch your YouTube videos about, now we can scan for this, and we have early detection for that, and we have this genetic thing that can fix this. Yeah, and they charge you incredibly It still requires an incredible amount of money, and you're not going to be able to afford it, But your congressman probably could. Your congressman can almost live forever if they want to, but you can't, right? Because they have the money. You rely on your insurance, and your insurance says, well, that's not covered. Or, that's just way too expensive. The real problem is the insurance companies. The insurance companies are charged way more than you would be. And you can ask your doctor this. They'll tell you that too. Your insurance is covering, it costs this much. I don't have insurance. How much would it cost if I paid cash? Oh, well, it'll be this much. They do it all the time. So you know what you do? Let me keep my insurance money. Instead of paying for health care, let me keep it in a bank account. You know, the equivalent of like a 401k, but a specially set aside medical 401k type of thing. And when I need to go to the doctor or pay for an office visit or buy my medications, it comes out of that. And if you want to socialize it, you make that tax-free. It goes into that account before taxes, and it doesn't get taxed. That's how you do it. That's not really socialized medicine, but, that, and you would watch the medical costs come way, way down. No mental illness here. I'm just cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. I must be on the radar. I get all those emails saying he definitely needs my input and donations. That's the input he wants, is donations. It's funny because I get those from everybody, from both sides of the aisle, all the time. The TDS is alienating many fans, including me. I still can't watch Star Wars. The escapism is gone for me. Yeah, I understand that. Statehood is harder now that there are 50 of them that have a say. I can't remember the proportions of states that have to agree, but you have to convince a lot more people than you did before. Yeah, I think someone double check me on this, but I think it's very similar to a constitutional amendment. It's like more than 2/3 of the states, I think. Plus, in the past, as we were adding states, we generally were able to add 2 states at a time. And there was a belief that one would go conservative, the other would go liberal, and it balanced out. And let's face it, there's a whole other discussion to have regarding this redistricting debate that's been going on. And I'm like, if you're going to redistrict, maybe you should start breaking up some of these bigger states. I think here in Illinois, there's been a push, at least among the southern half of the state, to divide the state between the state and Chicago. Make Chicago its own damn state, because it is not politically aligned with the rest of the state. That's also true in big sections of California. California could probably be broken up into 3 parts too, and probably should be, to be honest with you. And it's ridiculous when a governor talks as though he speaks for his entire state. He doesn't. He speaks for his party, and the people in his party that he represents. Everyone says I represent the whole of. No, you don't. Don't even lie. Canada is sitting on a boatload of money in oil. They could sell us. We could both be winners in that deal. Yeah, the western provinces are sitting on a boatload of oil. They know they can make a crap ton of money, but they can't. Their hands are restricted by the provinces in the west that are globalistically trying to uncarbonize the entire world. So, yeah, we'll see. Populism. It is now about populism. I keep falling into that same neo-Marxist dichotomy of left versus right. It's no longer left versus right. it's populists versus statists at this point. Anyway, I just realized my drink is getting low. That means I need to pop over to the promos. Give me 2 minutes and 20 seconds to tell you what we've got coming up this week, or at least most of what we've got coming up this week. Come back to your comments right after this.
You are watching Liquid Lunch, streaming every weekday at noon Central, 1 p.m. Eastern. Let's sip together.
This week on Netter's Network, there must always be a Stark in Winterfell. That's why Netter is sitting down with Stark of Iron.
Troy, not that Stark. It's the Marvel one, not the Ice and Fire one. You know Tony Stark makes you feel. He's a cool exec with a heart of steel.
Oh, thanks, Sophia. Well, Netter sits down with Stark of Iron this Thursday at 9 Central, 10 Eastern on Netter's Network.
This week on Saturday Night at the Movies, when Elizabeth Bennet meets the handsome Mr. Darcy, she believes he is the last man she could ever marry, but as their lives become intertwined, she finds herself captivated by the man she has sworn to hate forever. It's Pride and Prejudice on Big Al Presents Films with Friends, Saturday at 9 Central, 10 Eastern.
Every Sunday evening, Aged Boomer and Papa Pacelli bring you the rundown of the week's geek news, or at least what they think is interesting. You may have heard about it somewhere else, but Boomer and Pacelli put a spin on it you likely won't hear anywhere else. It's Geeky Geezers, every Sunday evening at 8 Central, 9 Eastern.
After Mr. Burns steals oil from Springfield Elementary and blocks out the sun, he is shot by an unknown assailant in the cliffhanger ending to Season 6 of The Simpsons. Then, the mystery is explored and resolved in the Season 7 premiere, with many cultural references, including several to Twin Peaks. We'll explore who shot Mr. Burns this week on Live from Sparkwood in 21, Tuesday at 7:30 Central, 8:30 Eastern, on Deleted Scenes and Affiliates.
With her main drive unit damaged beyond repair, the Scorpio and the crew will be stranded on the base, unless they can find a replacement. Dr. Plaxton and her drive prototype provide a dream solution, except there's one problem. She's working for the Space Rats. Can the crew obtain a new star drive? Next time on Last Call Presents Blake 7, Tuesday at 10 p.m. Central, 11 Eastern.
We now return to our liquid lunch.
Refilled, thank you. So the Horror King says, I wonder if Troy saw my last comment to him. I can help you out with that, Horror King, so you never have to ask that question again. If I bring up your comment, I saw it. Or if I comment on it, or if I talk about it. If I don't, then I didn't. And if you ever want to make sure I see one of your comments, that's what that little $ next to where you put the comment in is for. There you go. Glad I could help. Well, to be fair, Fauci needs all that money. So does Bill Gates. See, you and I, you got it. You absolutely got it. For sure, for sure. Welcome, Lester, Skeptic Tank Obsessions VIP member. Super appreciate you, my friend. It was great hanging out with you on Monday for the members-only viewing of Terror on the Prairie. It's really great to have you in the studio and to be able to chat with you one-on-one. It's really a nice perk, I think, for the VIPs, but it's good for me too, because I really like to get time with you guys. Border Patrol now hiring if breakups occur. Yeah, exactly. Welcome, longest running superhero RPG on Earth. He says, greetings, sorry I'm late. You never have to apologize for being late, especially since especially like at the halfway point of the show, you can always watch from the beginning, like on double speed. And I can talk like this, and I can talk really, really fast, like a chipmunk. And you can, get caught up, or, just hang with us live until the show ends and go back and catch the beginning or whatever, But, yes, as long as you smash the like, I really appreciate that. Oh, yeah, I could swim. What? I could swim a mile 30 years ago. I don't think I would make it now. Oh, gosh, yeah. I used to swim for endurance, too, but... Welcome, Jesse Green 619. Welcome back to membership, by the way. I saw you were gifted a membership. Glad to have you back. Let's see. Mark Malikoff, Servaland 2028. Yeah, no, I'm not sure I appreciate Servaland's politics. But if you want, a haughty world leader, check out the gal who's running Italy. She's someone I would probably vote for, no doubt about that. Have you heard about the fire at the circus? It was intense, yeah. Well, we're way past tense now. We're living in bungalows now. It's a WTF Wednesday of savings at Menards. At Menards. Yes, exactly. Save big money at Menards. Not a sponsored spot. In blatant self-promotion, Mikey Sousay 4 is interviewing Curtis Selby in an hour and a half. And there is the link. Yes. Make sure you check that out. Go on over there and tell Mikey Sousay 4 that the folks over here at Last Call sent you over, because Curtis is such a wonderful supporter of the channel, of all of our channels in this network. Really do appreciate you. And I think that catches us up. I do want to real quick return to the shared screen. This is the current headline over there on that Park Place. Is the Superman Jor-El message real? Digital release contradicts James Gunn's interview. I am taking credit, not for the scoop, but seeing this news article, seeing other ones that came out yesterday and the day before. We talked about it yesterday, in fact, and I brought it to Doomcock's attention. So I think he might actually have me talk about it today on his show. And if he does, then this will be a preview. And if he doesn't, well, this is my opportunity to talk about it now. I did rewatch this morning the new digital version of Superman, the James Gunn Superman, just to see what the differences were. And the hard thing about it is I only saw it the once, and I don't have a way to compare, old version to new version. So I have to go off my faulty recollection, but the article that was shared, I want to say it was that Park Place shared it. Is this it? Yeah. Let's take a look at this article real quick. I got it up on screen. Why not? Yeah, right here. In fact, yeah, this is the better one. If you can't read that, it says Daily Planet shows, what does it say? Luthor was behind the false images of Superman's parents' message, clearing something or other. I'm not entirely certain there. But the important point being that they're backtracking on that. Previously, they had said. In fact, I did write down the exact quote because I knew I was going to have to refer back to it. Let me go there real quick. It's my quick email. So there's the scene where the false message comes up on the billboard, and he turns and he looks and he watches on the guy's phone, and it upsets him. He goes walking away. They throw and hit him in the back of the head with the cup. He goes inside. The Justice Gang shows up. Guy Gardner blots out the windows, have a little thick talk there, and he says, the first half of the message is absolutely true. I've seen it, but it was damaged. I never saw the rest of it. And he said it has to be fake. It has to be a lie from Luthor. And apparently the line is something about how, like, however many computer experts, like, confirmed what Luthor said. And the current line from Mr. Terrific in that scene is, no way, Clark, I know these computer forensic guys. They're not going to say it's legit unless they are sure. I don't believe that's the line that was originally said. I can't remember if he said or if he implied that he himself had looked at them and determined that there was no way that they could have been faked. So I'll get back to that point in a second, but the other thing then is, of course, this this computer message or whatever, or the news footage showing this. Maxwell Lord is on the screen, played by James Gunn's, I don't know, brother or whatever he is, and this definitely does seem to imply that they are retconning that particular story element. Now, like I said yesterday, I think it fits better with the overarching story anyway. You've already got these goofy, cyber monkeys, trolling social media, right? Which is clearly a reference to the modern day phenomenon of trolls and bots in social media, just filling up your feeds with, trying to influence your thoughts and whatnot. Well, this could very well be a great commentary on, fake AI, footage of famous people and stuff saying stuff, and you can't tell that it's not real. It makes a lot of sense in terms of narrative, more than, slovenly being faithful to the graphic novel that he took a lot of inspiration from, that paints Jor-El as somewhat nefarious, leading to the New 52, evil Jor-El. Just, so just saying. So, yes, I may very well get a chance to talk more about that on Doomcock tonight. My issue with it was it made Kryptonians too similar to Viltrumites? I don't know that reference. Maybe CK, longest running superhero RPG, knows more about that than I do. Omni-Man, Jor-El versus Invincible Clark, definitely coming up in the sequel. Oh yeah, I'm thinking it would take me a year or two. Oh, you're talking about swimming. Yeah. Think, Clark, think. Jor-El after beating the crap out of Clark. Yeah.
You are watching Liquid Lunch, streaming every weekday at noon Central.
Sorry, wrong button. My apologies. If they had me do the sequel, I'd say it was Brainiac. Yeah, well, see, that's the other thing, too. This whole engineer thing would have been better if that was in some way connected to Brainiac. That would have made a lot of sense. There was, I don't want to get too much off on a tangent, but a second watching of Superman made me catch a lot of things, made me think. First, the Fortress of Solitude is now in Antarctica, and I think that's been that's been the reboot in the modern era in the comics as well. And I originally had an issue with that because, Fortress of Solitude is supposed to be, at the North Pole, not the South Pole. But the more I thought about it, the more I realized the North Pole is just frozen ice. It's an ice. It's a giant glacier sitting on the North Pole, and that grows and shrinks with the season. Whereas Antarctica is actually a continent. Yes, it's covered in ice, but if you were to completely melt the poles, there would still be Antarctica there. So I guess I could kind of get behind that. I also caught, that he's got a secret fortress there in direct opposition to a whole bunch of different treaties and stuff. And that actually would be true. In the real world, there are treaties that prevent countries from establishing bases on Antarctica without, working with the other countries that have bases there and so forth. But anyway, there's that. The other thing too, I've also talked about the whole Supergirl thing and what they're drawing from this Woman of Tomorrow. Like I say, I've got my issues with that, but it does give Kara more character and dimensionality rather than just being two-dimensional female, kid sister, Supergirl, Invincible, the species that Omni-Man belongs to. This isn't something I really know about. Are from Invincible. I don't know what Invincible is. It's by Image Comics. We're not even talking about, sort of a parody of Super. Yeah. Don't even. Once you start talking about other imprints that are non-DC, that's fine. You can compare them to the boys too. Hyperion of Squadron Supreme in the Marvels. Sure, I get that. So it shrinks in cold water. kinda. If I recall correctly, Fortress of Solitude was at the South Pole when he did Man of Steel in 1987. I don't think I actually watched the whole movie, so I wouldn't have caught that. Was it at the South Pole during the Byrne era? I didn't know that, but I could believe that. But yeah, that's about all I got. That's what I wanted to rant about. I wanted to, kind of moan and complain a little bit about how deranged Mark Hamill has become. He has become, the heir to the Empire clone of Luke. He's a little bit insane. The bizarro Luke Skywalker, if you will. But there you go. That's what I wanted to rant about today. Again, tonight over on Pop Culture Breakdown, Dictor Von Doomcock has invited me to hang out with him at Xanadu again tonight, and so I'm going to take him up on that, assuming that I am able to talk clearly. I hope the Novocaine wears off by then. But anyway, and of course, again, tomorrow night, Netters Network, Stark of Iron, and Friday, karaoke party. We'll start out over here, and then we'll migrate over to the Green Machine, where we can sing freely. There is no freedom on this particular platform. So that's all I had for today. tomorrow is Thursday, so we will talk about the things we are thankful for. And for all the things we have to rant about, there are plenty of things to be thankful for. So I want to express my gratitude for all of you who came out here to chat with me, share liquid lunch with me, and for supporting me in all the ways that you absolutely do support me. I honestly could not do it without you. I really appreciate it. So you take care, my friends. Drink responsibly, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care.
Goodbye. Hope to see you again real soon.
So here's to the daylight, the drinks and the fun, our liquid lunch, till the next one comes. With a wink and a smile, we'll be back real soon, chasing that jazz under the high noon.